If you happen to find yourself in Northern Ireland between April and October, add this stunning attraction to your itinerary. It's called Glenarm Castle, and it's a walled garden, one of Ireland's oldest. It is truly amazing, but it's what's within the walls that you'll fall in love with. For a start, these gorgeous hedges, these hornbeams, down the back there an Irish yew hedge, and the creativity in the design, the way it's been laid out, is reflected in the work of Angela Sykes. Now, she's the mother of the current Earl, and she's done a number of artworks here. One, which is Madonna with baby down the back there. She carved it by hand out of sandstone when she was just 16. The first castle on this site was built in 1260 by a Scot, but it's been home to the MacDonald family for over 600 years. The walled garden was a necessity back then, as it was created to supply the family with fresh fruit and vegetables. The current walls were built in the 17th century, but there's evidence that there was a similar walled garden in this place before. The wall was as much about security protecting the valuable food from invaders as it was about protecting the plants from the environment around them. Today, the garden is absolutely beautiful, and the MacDonald family still live in the castle, making it an absolute privilege to walk through these stunning grounds. The garden once overflowed with fruit such as apples, quince and pear, and a wide variety of vegetables, excluding potatoes, which were grown out in the surrounding fields. It's an ornamental garden today, and there are so many stunning plant highlights in late spring and early summer, you just have to check it out. The circular yew hedge around the outside here is said to be the oldest in Ireland, over 400 years old, and it circles in perfect symmetry around the outside of the herb garden. The only remaining productive food supply garden is the kitchen garden, which still provides the family with organically grown fruit and veggies today. And they are certainly some of the healthiest edibles I've seen. The glass house is used for growing really exotic fruit trees. Now, for us, growing a Moore Park apricot is something you can do at home, but here during the winter it's a bit too harsh for them. So in a glass house, they're sensational, and you can see how it's actually espaliered up the edge of the glass house. This acts as shade during the summer, but also cools it. It is absolutely beautiful. I love espaliered trees, and these discovery apples line the top wall of the garden and provide a highly ornamental effect in the summer as they start colouring up. Before an autumn harvest, they would have once seen them eaten fresh, used in cooking, and the extras would have been dried to supply fruit in the winter months. This would have to be the most exciting part of this garden for me. It's called the hot border. Now, it's hot because they've used so many red, orange and yellow flowering plants, and there's just some absolute stunners here that grow beautifully in Australian garden conditions. Things like, well, the dahlias, and they are just glorious. But it's a herbaceous border, and that means that during the winter, it dies down and rests. It's the perfect gardening environment. If you want to learn more about this garden, or perhaps you'd like to visit it for yourself, well, check out our website,